Hello, this is Riley Porter with Seattle Sumo. You are listening to a commentary track for Day 13 of the 1960 Haru Basho. The official video coverage for this tournament is on the Japan Sumo Association's YouTube channel and is available with a $9 membership. You'll play this video in a separate tab, and in order to synchronize the videos, I'll count backwards from 3, 3, 2, 1. As I hit the N in 1, you will press play on the Japan Sumo Association's video. And without further ado, I'll begin the countdown and we can get the commentary started. 3, 2, 1. Futabayama, Taiho, Shiano Fuji, Archive. The two remaining Yokozuna, Tochinishiki and Wakanohana, are still tied for the lead coming into today. First is Tsuninishiki against Kiryugawa. Kiryugawa, a Tokitsukaze Juryo visitor, one of several this basho. Let's see, pushes to the chest, good foot movement. Tsuninishki's taken to the edge and tries for a last-ditch neck throw, but Kiryugawa slips him and flattens him. So Kiryugawa gets his 7th win, inching closer to a possible repromotion to Makunochi. Now we have Kani no Hana, 7-5, one from Kachikoshi against Futatsuryu, Juryo Yusho contender, and also from Tokitsukaze, like Kiryugawa. Comes in the chest, now an outside left for Futatsuryu. In a good position, drives in, tilting, but Kani no Hana plants himself, arches his back, tilts, and sends Futatsuryu to his 3rd loss. So Kani no Hana gets his 8th win. That's Kachikoshi. For the young man from Dewano Umi, Hane Nishiki already has his Makekoshi as against Atagoyama on 7-5, wanting to get his winning record today. Now let's see. Comes in lower, does Atagoyama, pushing, but closed the distance and now gripping the back of the shoulder. Looking for that inside. It's double inside pretty much, and tries a scoop throw, does Atagoyama. Sticking to Hane Nishiki's back. Now he's deep inside with the left, and a nice shitate nage there. Inside throw from Atagoyama, gets his 8th win. Secures his top division status, and will be moving back out the Banzuke. Tokitsuyama, 10-2 against Kiyonomori, 9-3. This is not their first meeting. They've had one, and Tokitsuyama was victorious there, so you'd bet on him here. He very much outweighs the Arashio man. Araiso, I should say, from the Araiso stable. Was Isegahama not too long ago, but there's a current change of guard happening. A student of Terukuni, but his name is derived from Terukuni's teacher, Kiyo Segawa, and his hometown Omori. Comes in low, does Tokitsuyama, and pushes out Kiyonomori without too much fuss. Good Oshi Sumo. Oshi Dashi victory for Tokitsuyama, gets to 11-2. So, keeping the Yusho chance alive. Kiyonomori falls to his 4th win. Well, after already getting to 9, it's not much more to prove for the light man. See if we can get a couple more wins before this is out. Wakanokuni on the edge of Kachikoshi against Naruto Umi, who's already got his losing record. Wakanokuni, the much younger man here, comes thrusting out to the chest, keeps the thrusting going. Naruto Umi pushes back in, looks for that inside right, he's got it. Moving forward, putting on the Sotogake and flattening Wakanokuni. So Naruto Umi weathers the storm at the opening of the bout, comes back, wraps up Wakanokuni, and gets the win. That's his 5th one, and Wakanokuni, not yet a winning record, 7-6 going out today. Getting a little dicey. Naruto Umi, near the bottom of the Makunochi Banzuke, want to pick up as many wins as he can now. Been in this top division a very long time. Wakachichibu against Uragawa. Uragawa on 5-7. One more loss is Makekoshi. He's decidedly lighter than Wakachichibu. We'll see if we can work around that. Wakachichibu jumps the gun. Uragawa sort of still as a statue there in his mid-crouch. We'll try to sync this up again. Uragawa is ready. Wakachichibu not as much. We'll try once more. Okay, this should be it. Third time's the charm. And they meet in the middle, chest to chest. Uragawa gets that outside right. He drives in. Wakachichibu, he's on the defense. He wrenches up that arm. Can he do anything? Pulls the hip back. Stance has improved a bit now, but Wakachichibu not able to move forward. And he wraps up the neck. That's desperate looking. Moves back to the arm. Tries for maybe a little thrust down, but Uragawa keeps his footing. Pushing up on the armpit there. Keeping that inside right, deep. Wakachichibu not in a great position. He's being pressed, using his weight to his advantage, but not doing much else to save himself on this match. How long does his ankle hold on for? He switches feet. Looking for that outside right. Pausing the action, Wakachichibu's belt is loose, so the Gyoji is going to tie it up here. We'll see if in these moments of reprieve, if Wakachichibu can think of something to get himself out of this. Back to action. Wakachichibu leans in, tries for that outside right, doesn't take. Uragawa keeping his belt distant. Pushes up, one last drive, ought to do it. And it does. Uragawa gets that 6th win, avoids Makekoshi. Wakachichibu, that's his 10th loss. He'll be tumbling down the Banzuke and perhaps at this rate out of Makunochi altogether. We'll see. He's decently high ranked, but who knows? Uragawa can still get his Kachikoshi before all things are said and done here. Hanada, he's still here with that injured left of his against Aono Sato. This is their first meeting, and they're both even now, 6-6, but methinks Aono Sato's in a better position. He wraps up Hanada, who's again trying for that Uchigake, same maneuver as last time, but no take, he just gets flattened. Aono Sato picks up a 7th win in relatively easy fashion. Hanada, 6-7. Well, Makekoshi awaits. We'll see if he can save himself. Good of him to have already picked up so many wins before his injury. Aono Sato, one more for Kachikoshi. Moving back off the Banzuke to take another crack at Sanyaku. Waka Maeda already has his Kachikoshi, so does Wakamisugi. They're both on 8-4, not as much at stake as there was maybe a couple days ago. Fast charge, Waka Maeda gets that inside left, outside right. Wakamisugi looks like he's got the same Hidari Yotsu. Wakamisugi looked like he might be taken back all the way for a second there. Waka Maeda's got a good charge, as he's been doing the last few bouts, but couldn't finish out the Hanakago man. So now it's a matter of saying who is the better belt fighter. I think Waka Maeda, he prefers things open, using dynamic movement and superior weight with a low center of gravity. Wakamisugi drives in, tilting, and finishes Yorikiri. So Wakamisugi, I think, proves the better belt fighter, at the very least for this encounter, and moves to his 9th win. Looking good. Should be on his way to the Joey next boss show. Waka Maeda, 8-5. Not too much to complain about at this point. Once you've got your Kachikoshi, unless you're shooting for the Yusho or a special prize, then not much more is on the line. Unless you're a particularly ambitious Dikishi. And here's Tamano Umi, 3-9 against Yoshinomine, 3-9. Neither is doing well at all. Yoshinomine, the smallest man in this division, comes in low, wrapping up the arm of Tamano Umi. Digging in is Yoshinomine, Tamanoumi. Pretty upright at this point. Just leaning in. Looks like he's trying for a Totari. An armbar throw and a very gentle tug on the back of the belt. A little Uwate Dashinage from Yoshinomine finishes Tamanoumi. Picks up his fourth win. Tamanoumi looking very limp and lifeless out there. But there is life in him. He's still here to compete. Didn't give Yoshinomine too much of an obstacle. A bit of a struggle, nonetheless. I mean, if they're here to fight, they're here to fight. Tamahibiki against Naruyama. Inverse scores. Tamahibiki, one step from Kachikoshi. Naruyama, one step from Makekoshi. Tamahibiki comes in low. His arms deep behind Naruyama. But no belt grip. Now he's working towards it. Naruyama a little high. But also with an arm inside. Fairly close to the belt. If these two close the distance a little bit, they can both move to Migiyotsu. But Naruyama is not willing. Now he does have that inside right. He's guarding against Tamahibiki's inside right. Well, now he moves for the outside left. Tamahibiki jostling, but it looks like they've both finally made it to that Migiyotsu. So we'll see which of these two is stronger on the belt at this point. A bit of a stalemate. A little bit of a leg trip. A sweep from Tamahibiki, checking things out. Moves in and finishes Naruyama. So Tamahibiki gets his Kachikoshi today. Patient Sumo beating Naruyama. Naruyama 5-8 Makekoshi coming out of today. Taiho against Fukudayama. Now, despite both of these guys being in Juryo recently, they haven't crossed paths before. This is a first-time meeting. Comes out thrusting, hands to the chest and face. Fukudayama's manhandling Taiho, but Taiho wraps up the arm. He's swinging around. They're in the middle of the dohyo again. Pushing up is Fukudayama. Pulling in is Taiho. This is Taiho's game, but was it good enough? The Gyoji went the way of Taiho, it looked like. Oh, but perhaps he switched it to Fukudayama. My eyes might be playing tricks on me. In any event, Taiho registers a Makekoshi. Fukudayama already had one. And they're even today, 5-8. So Taiho, not too surprisingly, registers a losing record this time out, but there's still time left to save face, keep himself from dropping too far. Fukudayama and Maegashira, only at Maegashira 10, considerably less, lower ranked, I should say, than Taiho, is happier with the win. Oikawa 5-7, staving off Makekoshi against Shionishiki 3-9. Shionishiki not having a great basho. He waits, dodges Oikawa. Oikawa moves back into him, closes the distance, gets that outside right, and finishes him Yorikiri. So, Shionishiki, not as aggressive as you might expect. He's not been too shy about taking it to him this basho, but Oikawa keeps his footing, doesn't get slipped, doesn't get his Makekoshi today. He's 6-7, still with a chance for a winning record. Shionishiki, his 10th loss. Now, Ohikari, born again, turning things around in his second week this basho, 6-6 against Matsunobori, 5-7. And Ohikari has the edge in their head-to-head, 7-5. So overall, he looks the favorite in this matchup. We'll see. Comes out, there's a shimmy, shake, and dodge to the side. Fleet-footed is Ohikari Matsunobori, pivoting around trying to keep up with him. Ohikari's got that outside. Digs his head into the chest. He's guarding his belt. Matsunobori pushes in, pulling, moving to the side, and winning the match is Ohikari. So, really moving very quickly. Very frantic, frenetic sumo from Ohikari to keep the big man off balance. Matsunobori falls to 5-8. That says Makekoshi, and Ohikari 7-6. One more Katsikoshi. Did you think you'd see this coming out of day 5? When the Day 1 Umi veteran was winless. Well, good for him. Shinobuyama 6-6 against Iwakaze. 5-7. One step from Makekoshi. Shinobuyama's stablemate Naruyama registered a loss today. Let's see if he can pick it up for Onogawa's stable. A little high. Iwakaze is typical low catch. Pulling. Moving himself closer to the edge. Shinobuyama leaning on him. Slipping and then pressing back in as Iwakaze finishing Shinobuyama. No dice for Onogawa's stable today. Iwakaze picks up a win for his Wakamatsu stable, avoids Makekoshi. He's 6-7 now. 2 more days of action. We'll see if he can pull out a winning record. Shinobuyama has the same record as him coming out of today, 6-7. So he'll be fighting Makekoshi tomorrow. Tsurugamine has Okinohana. They're both 6-6. Tsurugamine has the decided advantage in their head-to-head, 4-0. Odds favor him in this matchup. Pushing on the chest is Okinohana. Moving to an outside right is Tsurugamine. He's the better belt fighter, that much is sure. Keeping his belt back. Makikai grip change, gets that inside right. He's deep. He's moving. He's dropped his hips and he finishes Okinohana. Tsurugamine in control. Sticking to his game plan, moves to 7-6. 1 from Kachikoshi. Okinohana 6-7. 2 more chances for a winning record. We'll see. Tsurugamine. Izutsu's sole Makunochi representative. Looking strong on the belt this basho. Tochihikari. 7-5 against Kita no Nara, also 7-5. They're only a rank apart. Kita no Nara at the top of the Maegashira. Tochihikari at the bottom of the Sanyaku. Let's see if White Lightning can shock Tochi today. Tochi catches, but moves back. Kita no Nara fishing for that belt. Got an outside right, Tochihikari. Little high up, gripping on the shoulder blade. Kita no Nara is really wrenching up that belt. Pulling, twisting, and a shitate nage from Kita no Nara. So he gets his Kachikoshi. Tochihikari will have to wait. Kita no Nara will be moving back to the Sanyaku for the next basho. Composes himself well. Joins Tokitsuyama amongst the victorious Tatsunami. Dewanishiki has Fujinishiki. Dewanishiki already with the Makekoshi 4-8, and Fujinishiki is a step away, 5-7. Today also happens to be Fujinishiki's 23rd birthday, so happy birthday to Fujinishiki. Let's see if the birthday luck brings him a win. And he bounces off Dewanishiki, but comes back pushing, jostling to the side. Dewanishiki pulling up on the arms as usual. Fujinishiki pushes in, good Hazuoshi, pressing up on the armpit. Dewanishiki tries a lateral movement, but gets caught, and Fujinishiki gets that win. For his 23rd birthday, he goes 6-7. Keeps Makekoshi away. Dewanishiki moves to his 9th loss. So Fujinishiki, still a chance for Kachikoshi. We'll see how the next 2 days treat him. Picking up some wins in place of his elder stablemate, Asashio, now absent. Shinseki Wake Kashiwado has a chance for Kachikoshi today against Annenyama, who has a chance for Makekoshi today. on 5-7. Speedy, sharp is Kashiwado, pushing and finishing Anenyama without too much resistance. Taking the edge in their head-to-head, moving to 3-2 against Anenyama. So Shinsekiwake Kashiwado gets a Kachikoshi, at his highest rank. The Issei no Umi man should be very happy with himself. Anenyama, a losing record. So of the 4 Heavenly Kings, the 4 Tatsunami men fighting in this basho, it seems that he is the only one with a Makekoshi. Kitabayama against Kaizan. Kaizan, 1 step from Makekoshi. Kitabayama's already got his winning record. Comes in lowered as Kitabayama, moves to that inside right outside left. This is his position. He should be able to win from here relatively easily. Wrenching up. Oh, but caught on the edge now. Staying solid is Kitabayama, who weathers the attack and finishes Kaizan, sending him to his losing record. Kitabayama goes to his 9th win. Not a Yusho contender anymore after picking up some losses in the second week, but still looking very strong, very mentally sharp, getting where he wants to be, finding his favorite position in almost every matchup. Wakanoumi against Wakahaguro. Wakahaguro on 7-5. Will he go the way of Anenyama or the way of Tokitsuyama? Pushing on the chest and winning is Wakahaguro. That was a one-way match. Wakahaguro joins Tokitsuyama and Kitanonada in the winning corner of the 4 Heavenly Kings and leaves Anenyama out in the cold. So Wakahaguro, in his 3rd Ozeki outing, gets his 2nd Ozeki Kachikoshi. So he's redeemed himself a little bit here after his previous tournament. Tochinishiki is perfect today, 12-0. Let's see if he can keep it up against Kotogahama, against whom he has a 19-7 head-to-head. So, of course, odds are in his favor. They meet chest to chest. Good Dayashi from Tochinishiki moving forward, bring Kotogahama to the edge. Kotogahama wheels around. He's got Tochinishiki on the edge, and Tochinishiki, well, just when you think it's over, it's not over. Tochinishiki arcing backward, planting his feet on the Towada. A nice little uchari. Maybe you could call it Tsuki Otoshi, since they maintain contact, and he crushed down Kotogahama. In any event, Tochinishiki gets the win at the last second, stays perfect 13-0. Kotogahama still with no Kachikoshi. But he did give the Yokozuna some trouble today, so he can say that for himself. Tochinishiki is now 20-7 against Kotogahama. Wakanohana against Fusanishiki, both with a Kachikoshi. Wakanohana hits the chest, moves upward, gets that outside left, and a scoop throw to finish things off. Not too much trouble from the Wakamatsu man, who's never beaten him. That's now 8-0 in Wakanohana's favor in their head-to-head. And Wakanohana is 13-0 now in this basho. He stays level with Tochinishiki. So 2 days left. The 2 Yokozuna currently competing are perfect, and they're taking it all the way. And now with only 2 matches left, they can oust Tokitsuyama from the Yusho race tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Thank you for joining me.